Hey, y'all, welcome into the building. Okay, the train pulled out late tonight. Listen, they trying to come for the diva on YouTube. Yes, I woke up, or I looked up when I did get a chance to look, and I had like 60 videos that they said it was a violation. I said, whoa. What y'all talking about? So you know how I play the feel-good stories at the end? Well, I played a lot of Steve Hartman. It's ironic, but I had stopped playing Steve Hartman videos. I played a lot of Steve Hartman videos. Well, I must have played at least 60 because they were all in violation, and I had to trim it out. And it took me a long time to get that all in order. Hopefully they finished coming at my neck. Hopefully they did. Hopefully they finished coming at my neck. But you roll with the punches, and you got to keep it going and keep it pushing. And the train is still pulling out the building. Had a little turbulence. The train is late, but the train is pulled out the building. Listen, everybody, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button as you come in the building, because we're talking about it. Trending topics tonight. And the title is Decisions. Decisions. In life, we all got to make decisions. And we got to make decisions all the time. We do. Sometimes, listen, because we're only human, sometimes we make the right decisions. Sometimes we make the wrong decisions, but we got to make decisions. Don't get on me, but you are correct. I got to leave those alone. Messing with Steve Hartman, showing his feel-good stories. No, I will not. I have to just tell you about them, give you the link, and let you click on it yourself. So anyway, decisions. And so Shaq said that becoming a DJ once he retired from the NBA, it saved him. A lot of times, it's not always about how much money you have. It's about what are you doing with your brain, in your mind, in your life after you retire. Have you ever heard these stories like someone worked maybe 30 years, 40 years, and the minute they retired, 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, they're gone, they died? It happens. Keep your mind going. I'm not saying you got to work until the day you leave this earth, but you know what? Enjoy your life. I have a book club. I hang out with my family and friends. Every now and then I get up in my son's business, because I told y'all before, you got to stay in their business until you leave. You just in their business at different levels. From birth to 18, you 100% in their business. I'm going to give the percentages when I come up with them. But all through college, maybe you drop it down to 50%. I don't know, 75, but you got to stay in the business. You always got to have a foot in your kids' business as long as you are living and they are living too. That's a diva theory. Okay, not proven. I'm just saying. So anyway, he does have something to do. And I think everybody, come on now, Best IBK. I appreciate you. Come on, 90%, right? While they in college. Come on, holler at me, BK. Yes, 90%. And somebody give us the percentage of the business we need to be in once they get married. And they are they not married yet, and they living out there on their own? but we got to stay in the business. Yes, we do. So now, but he found himself something to do. And I appreciate that, because it's a good, thing for other people to learn. Like, when you retire, don't get lost. Continue to live your life. Maybe pick up a habit, or not a habit. That's the wrong thing to say, right? Pick up a hobby that you like and love, and do that. All right, Special K, I can accept those numbers. When the kids get married, you stay in the business 40% of it. I'm with it. I don't know how much they're going to be with it, but I'm with it. Best IBK said 10%. Well, we could play around with the percentages. But the point is, we got to stay in the business. Yes, we do. And we have that right, because we gave birth to them. Okay? So, wait, driver's seat. Are you friends with Mayor Eric Adams? Huh? What driver's seat, where you come from? What's going on? What's that about? I don't know that man Hartball. No, driver's seat, what? No, I am not. I do not know. I do not know that man. But tell me what you're talking about. Okay, so anyway, let's move on to this police scandal. You see, let me tell you something. Let me have a conversation with the ladies. I don't care if you black, white, yellow, orange. I don't care what ethnicity, what background, what you believe in, don't believe in, who you sleep with, don't sleep with. If you are a lady, some of the hardest times, no matter where you work, McDonald's, Walmart, Target, corporate America, the bank, the ladies always have it rough. The men don't want you to be in charge, but as quiet as it's kept, none of the ladies want you to be in charge either. We can't win for losing. We give each other the hardest times. We don't support each other. But you definitely believe, especially if it's a certain position, the man wants your job and he don't want to answer to you. So she was the first black superintendent at the police department. And this chick, instead of holding her head high and being aware about her surroundings and how nobody wanted her in that position, she jacked up her position by giving the answers. So, when you get promotions in the police department, they got tests you got to take. And they probably get tests to see if you're really ready. Wait, hold on one second. Hi, Combat Veteran. No, I did not hear that. Are you're not talking about Diane that's always been in the chat? My condolences. But I need you to email me, because my condolences. You got to email me though. Is this Diane that's always in the chat? Diane that used to email me? Please email me, and my condolences, but please email me, please. I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow. Yes, my condolences. Oh, yeah. So sad. Don't put your number in the chat. Don't put your number in the chat. Email me. I'm going to put my email in this chat right now. Please email me tonight. And my condolences. So sorry. All right. I got thrown off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm big supporter of your wife. Huge supporter of me. Very, my condolences. Okay. So I'm sorry, guys. So this police A superintendent, female. I appreciate you. So sorry. My condolences. So this police superintendent, she thought she was going to give the answer to these male counterparts. Well, at the end of the day, I know she would. Oh my God. I know. And she emailed me a few times too. You really have to email me. My condolences. My heart is pounding right now. And I appreciate the both of y'all for all the support. And may God bless you and be with you during this time. So sorry to hear that. I really, really am. My condolences again. So she wanted to give these workers the answer to the test so they could pass the test and get promotions. Then 6 of them, they ended up diming her out. You see, don't do, no, it's okay, combat veteran. I'm actually very glad you told me. Very glad you told me. My condolences again. They dimed out. She tried to help them. They dimed her out, and now she's demoted. When it comes to work, to the best of my abilities, I walk a straight line. Keep it clean. Keep it professional. I try my best. Now, we only human, but I really do. Because trust me, at the end of the day, they will throw you under the bus, back the bus up, pull it in reverse again, and keep rolling over you and rolling over you and rolling over you and rolling over you and rolling over you. Yes, they will. They do you dirty. And now here she was, made history, worked her way up to being the first Black female superintendent, and she comes crashing down over a man. Now, can I be very clear with y'all? I love the men. Yes, I do. But I don't love them more than I love myself. I'm not going to get the bus run over me over no man in his private parts. I will not. If I was her and I was the superintendent, Diva, we having trouble passing the test. Study harder. That's my tip for you. Go find your coworker. Your coworker, so-and-so, Mikey, he passed the test after taking it 3 times. Go get some tips from him. Diva, do you know what the test look like and what I should focus on? Focus on everything. Any more tips for me? Study and pray. And I would tell every single person the exact same message. They will dime you out and roll the bus over you. Don't let anybody ever jeopardize you and your check. Don't let it happen. And combat veteran, I appreciate you. My email popped up in the corner. Appreciate you. They will get you. They will have you in a home starving somewhere. No, give everybody the same message. Go study, pray, and keep it moving. And if you fail, try again until you pass. I was not, some people, the brains and the study, it comes to them naturally. I had a girlfriend in college, she didn't even have to study. I'm like, how do you do it? How do you do it? She didn't have to study. That girl aced everything. No, I had to live in the books. I had to read it over and over again. I would go back to the professor, explain it to me one more time. My friends would explain it to me. And then after all of those scenarios, I would have some success. And my success wasn't necessarily always an A or a B. You got to know your limits too. Sometimes you a C student. So what? See your way to graduation. Everybody, oh, I had a 4.99999. Listen, I graduated. And that's that. Sometimes I got an A, sometimes I got a B. Now, I'll tell you the difference, though. In grad school, you have to get an A or B. I went to grad school, but in grad school, you have to get an A or B. There is no other option. And they figure if you paying all of that, then you need to pass. But I ain't get caught up in no grade point average. I'm here. I'm doing the best I can. I'm studying. I pass. Give me my degree. I walk down the aisle with the rest of them. Okay? You got to know your limits. So she jeopardized her whole job and they dined her out. That's meant for you, but we'll move on. Then we got this mayor. Honey, I will never understand people who just want to spend. What is the obsession with a Gucci, a Louis, a red bottom? Now, don't get it twisted. I like my things. I like my clothes. Yes, I do. But I ain't got to still lie and cheat to get them. And I don't have no problem if that's where my pockets say to go, going to Target or Walmart. No, I do not. Sometimes I go to Target. Sometimes I go to Walmart. Sometimes I go to Banana Republic. Sometimes I go to J. Crew. Sometimes I go to Kate Spade. But it all depends when I'm about to go shop. What does the pocketbook say? The debit card say I can only go to Target, then Target it is. But you have people, yeah, you do. You have people who they want to, by any means necessary, I'm about to fly first class. You have people, by any means necessary, I'm going to always have on some designer labels. Yeah, you got a Rebels, that one. That chick right there, Tiffany. Tiffany lost her natural mind. One day she spent $33,000 at Amazon. I don't know what the obsession is with Amazon, but I'm going to tell you this right here. I'm not an online chick. I'm not really I don't like to shop online. I like to touch, see, feel. Because they take the best pictures of this stuff online. And then you get it. You be like, what? You look at the picture, you like, this is that? Then you got to go figure out how to send it back and put in an email so they can send you a return label, this, that, and the other. God bless Diane and may she rest in peace. She had a BA. God bless her. Come on, what is the debit card saying I could purchase today? And you know I love Starbucks. But sometimes the debit card says you got to go to a Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm like, all right, I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts. And sometimes the debit card says you got to go to Wawa. All right, I'll go to Wawa. And a while ago, the McDonald's, they were selling coffee for $1. So it all depends on what the wallet says when I want to go do something. And yes, Amazon returns are easy. They really are. But you know what? I'm just not that girl to be going to do all these returns. I like to, when I go to the store, I know I love it. And one and done it, I'm going to keep it. That's it. Come on now, your card points you to the coffee maker. I ain't mad. Listen, this my tea. I made it in my house. You know, we do a little mix of stuff. That's why we got along. I love Kate Spade too. Thanks for being here with us, Combat. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. I really do. And Diane, she loved me. She would email me a lot. I appreciate you. But listen, guys, we're going to go ahead and bring the people on in the building because it's Thursday night Trending Talkings. We are coming up on a nice holiday Labor weekend. But tonight, the train pulled out late, but we are about to get into it. The topic is decisions. That's the title, decisions. Okay, Shaq, he retired from the NBA, say he's a DJ now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, we got the police scandal and we got the scandal with the mayor. Let me go ahead and bring the people on in the building. Hey, Katrina. Hey,
Hey,
Savannah.
Diva, choo, choo, choo.
Hey, Felicia. Hey,
Hello.
Wayne. Hey, Liz.
Hey,
All right.
David.
Hey y'all.
Okay, we got the people on in the building. We're going to get right into it. You know, some of you, everybody mute though while I talk, just so we won't have any background noise. Um, so you know how a lot of people, have you ever heard that somebody retired, and then they retired, and not too long after they retired, they actually, pass away. That's why you always got to find something to do and occupy your mind in a good way. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen. So let me see here. So Shaquille, I didn't know he was seriously DJing, but you know what? Do what you got to do, Shaq. Okay. So Shaquille O'Neal says becoming a DJ saved him from feeling lost after the NBA retirement. Okay. He said, I was like, you know what? I used to do this. Let me see if I can pick it up again. The former basketball player tells people about DJing. So there go DJ Shaq, okay, but he has a name. He got a little DJ name. So there he is. Many know him as an NBA legend, but Shaquille O'Neal has made another name for himself, DJ Diesel. The 52-year-old former basketball player says that his second life as a DJ has offered him a similar feeling to what he has once experienced as a professional basketball player. I started DJing because it gives me the same adrenaline boost that a championship game would give me, he tells people. O'Neal admits that he didn't know what to do with his free time after retiring from the NBA. I was lost because I had planned to retire 2 years after I retired. So I wasn't really prepared, he explains. Okay. The sports analyst continues, I've been playing since I was 14 years old and always had to step into the arena feeling of the game. I always had the hour and a half or so. And when I stopped playing, I didn't have that. Figuring out what was next for himself, O'Neal decided to pick up an old skill, and the enjoyment he got from it surprised him. I went to this concert and I got the same feeling again. I was like, you know what? I used to do this. Let me see if I can pick it up again, he says. So yeah, it's fun, but it only lasts an hour and a half. Along with DJing, O'Neal says he spends his time working hard and staying out of trouble. One of my mottos is, it could be worse. I haven't played professional basketball in 20 years, but yet I'm still working and my schedule is full. I'm thankful for that. He'll be back on this floor as an analyst for NBA on TNT and will also headline the Sports Illustrated golf experience in Dallas on September 21st as DJ Diesel. Okay, so there he got his little sign. He's doing his thing. At 52, O'Neal says working as much as he does is a blessing. I know a lot of people in my position didn't have anything, don't have anything going on. They just wake up and are lost. So the fact that I'm working, it's a blessing, the former NBA star says. So any job I get, I'll just continue to do because one day I'll be in that position where I won't be able to do it anymore. O'Neal's looking forward to working for many years to come, especially as DJ Diesel. Hopefully I can go another 10, 20 years, he says. But if not, I'll have fun doing it and doing it my way. And I love this for him, right? So many NBA players, they have tragic stories. They blew through millions of dollars. And when I say million, I'm not talking one or two. I'm talking millions of dollars, okay? And he's right. Instead of being out there lost, if working is what's going to keep him out of trouble, why not? Katrina, your thoughts?
Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. I'm glad he's doing something for himself. You know, I was told by a good friend that you have to start living for you when you have done all you can with your family. So you have to take the time to figure out in your life what's going to make you happy. And you have to go with that. Because when you live for somebody else, you're not living for yourself and you're not enjoying your life, even though you're giving them your all. But if this is what he wants to do, and it may give him longevity, I'm sorry, time, to keep going. Because, like you said, I know people quit, retired, and they were so used to doing that type of work or going to work or whatsoever, and they just let life pass them by and end up they're not here anymore. So you right on that point, Diva. But like I said, if that's making him happy, that's giving him a purpose or whatsoever, then all well. I'm glad he's doing it. And yeah, I got that advice from a good friend, and I thank that friend. That friend might be on the panel, but anyway, I appreciate it. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Katrina. But you know what's people always come into our life for a reason, right? And sometimes, am I looking blurry to y'all? They saying I'm looking a little blurry. So sometimes, you just have to sit back and listen. We got this one life. Let's enjoy it, live it, and have fun. Savannah, your thoughts?
One thing about Shaquille O'Neal is that he is a brand ambassador and he knows how to sell himself. From the insurance company that he's involved with, I think it's the General. Shaq also has stock in Papa John's Pizzas. He helped them, if we recall that scandal with the Papa John's owner and saying racist remarks. Shaquille came in and bought, I believe it was 150 restaurants, and then became in the Miami and Atlanta area. And he eventually became the brand ambassador for Papa John's and helped them um, uh, basically rebrand. And that CEO eventually ended up stepping down. Um, I know he has car washes. I mean, Shaq doesn't stay still. He even tried to be a police officer at one time, where it was a, a comedic spoof with many of the comedians. But Shaq is very, very involved in the South Miami community. And we all see the videos of him walking into regular stores, whether it's Home Depot, Walmart, and he sees someone at the register or around, and he makes sure that that family is taken care of. So Shaq I just think the women is his kryptonite, and where he's always distracted. But Shaq has this extremely strong work ethic that a lot of these other basketball players, especially the young ones, they don't have a mentor or anyone to teach them. They get these lucrative deals and want to go out and spend and buy the latest G wagon. Where Shaq still he has his luxury cars, but he prefers his big truck, a regular old Ford diesel truck. So I like this for Shaq, and I just think it's another one for his portfolio.
I like it. Thank you. Julius, your thoughts?
One thing Shaq know how to do. He gonna hustle.
Mm.
Shaq know how to hustle. He know how to make 2 cents into 15 million. So, so if he feel like he want to do DJing right now, well, go ahead. It's not my business. He don't help me pay my bills with all his money that he got. That's it. That's all.
Appreciate you. Wayne, you're up.
Once you reach a pinnacle in life where you have everything, you can do just about anything. I mean, and you really want for nothing. He's fortunate he was able to find something in simpler in life that he enjoyed doing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, because I mean, he knows that he couldn't play basketball forever. And I'm glad. I mean, at 52, that's a good age to retire. And they say if you like what you're doing, it's not work.
Yes.
So I'm just glad he was able to find something that he really liked doing. He said it gave him adrenaline, like when he was playing basketball. So to have something like that's safe to do, you enjoy it, it's no threat. I mean, I'm glad. My hat's off to him. I'm glad he was able to make a transition like that.
I feel the same way, right? Felicia, your thoughts?
Good evening, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. So, okay. So Mr. O'Neal, we know, has always had an incredible work ethic. He got it from his mother and his grandmother. And so he has had it all his life. So when you have cash liquidity at $500 million, oh, come on now. All right. So you say, okay, and we know he has always invested his money wisely, and he's always made very wise decisions. Savannah was so good to tell us about the things that he has invested in. So he is a big investor in Lyft, Gold Bond, Icy Hot, General Insurance, Reebok, and Barney's, and Vitamin Water, and Google, and Pepsi, and Apple, and the Sacramento Kings, and Spider. And he is also a big investor in the stock market. So what's really happening here? He got his heart broken by Shawnee. And with all of this success, he needs an adrenaline rush. Go ahead, Wayne. Yes, he does. He said it lasts about an hour and a half, and it works for him because he has never gotten over that woman. And so he just can't find another woman to love him. And so he's out here trying to find ways to replace that love. He missed that woman. I think he ought to just go make up with her, tell her to leave that pimping pastor alone and get a divorce and let them give it a second try.
Not the pimping pastor. Savannah said he could go help build the church. I could not, y'all. Woo! Mr. Hobson, you're in the building. What are your thoughts?
Good evening, everyone. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
I like this look for Shaq. It's like I like post retirement. It's like, okay, you winding down, but you're not done. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. It's like, and like Felicia and everyone else said, his portfolio is amazing. It's very impressive. And it's weird to see because athletes tend to have that stigma of the women and the mismanagement of money and bankruptcy and a lot of children, etc. And it's very enduring to see. Like he living out his good life. Like who would have thought? Like you said, DJ Diesel. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. Like congratulations, Shaq. Like the kids is grown. Everybody doing it. Everybody's moving in their own direction. Like so should he.
That's right. Come on now. Shout out to DJ Diesel in the chat. Okay. Come on now. I love it too for him. And it's a good testament, better than a lot of these other basketball players that we hear about that are down and out once they retire and they have nothing and they're back home living with a parent and they blew through millions and millions of dollars. Okay. Yep. So I love it. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll into this next story. So I just don't, people work hard to get some coveted positions. And I don't understand how when somebody can work so hard to get in a certain position and then they just blow it all away. It baffles me. But we're going to go right into this lady's story. Hey, Miss Behavior, I'm glad you caught alive. Nice to see you here. Let's see. Let's go into this police superintendent. She a hopeful. So police force first ever. Did y'all hear that? First ever Black female superintendent is demoted. She's lucky she got demoted and not fired. The Toronto Police Service first Black female superintendent has been hit with a 2-year demotion following a scandal that saw her help other Black members of the force cheat a promotional process. Officer Stacy Clark, a 26-year veteran of the police service, received the penalty at a police tribunal hearing in downtown Toronto Wednesday. She will now serve as an inspector, down 1 rank from her old position, officials said. She will also be required to reapply to the rank of superintendent after 24 months, after pleading guilty to professional misconduct last year. Outside the agency headquarters, Clark says she planned to take time with her 17-year-old daughter and 15-year-old son to process the decision. She's ascended to the post in 2020 following stints in the agency homicide and divisional policing units. She was the focus of an investigation after giving out confidential information to 6 Black constables before their promotional interviews. What a fool. What a whole fool. Where they do that at? We need to speak to her because she messed up. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, that's what it is what it is. The newly minted inspector told reporters outside the police headquarters after pleading guilty in September. I'm just very disappointed. I'm very sad about it. She added how she regrets leaking interview questions and answers to 6 Black officers she mentored for the 2021 promotions. This comes after a hearing this spring where she insisted she acted out of desperation to counteract what she called anti-Black systematic racism, requesting leniency. The local Black community, meanwhile, made it clear they were watching the case as well. The community will be extremely disappointed and offended if the superintendent, Stacey Clark, receives a disproportionate discipline for her actions, wrote one observer who attended the May hearing virtually. It will definitely be seen as a direct result of systematic racism, which is deeply entrenched in policing, and it will unequivocally impact the relationship between the police and the Canadian Black community, they said. Disciplinary hearing officer Robin McLary Downer at the time told the veteran officer, "I apologize in advance, Superintendent Clark," she said. "I know this weighs heavy on you." On Wednesday, while handing down the decision from a tribunal, McAirley Downer branded the stripped superintendent's actions as a cheating scheme while laying out some of the transgressions. This included photographing interview questions and answers and sending them to 6 mentees who were not named. Clark also told one of the officers to delete photos and conducted mock interviews to coach them, McLary Downer said. "It's clear rank brings a higher expectation of flawless behavior," the Ontario police staffer said. The nature of Superintendent Clark's misconduct undoubtedly shook the confidence and trust the public had in her, and on a broader scale, the Toronto Police Service. Of how she came to the decision, she said, "I found there is sufficient and tangible evidence in front of me that finds Clark's actions amply illustrated abuse of position and abuse of power. This makes her an unsuitable candidate to be automatically reinstated to the rank of superintendent," she said. Superintendent Clark will need to reapply down the road. When she does, I'm truly hopeful she will demonstrate her readiness to serve at the rank of superintendent. Let's be clear, she can reapply. It ain't never, ever, ever going to happen again. If it does, I will be shocked.
There you go.
Facts. Still has yet to be ruled out. The decision put a cap on the scandal that halted Clark's mediocre rise within the department. After initially working in the Community Response Unit, Youth Bureau, and Intelligence Unit in the early 2000s. She went on to work the Force Homicide and Divisional Police and Support Units for several years before transferring to the Toronto Police College in 2008. Clark was subsequently promoted, assigned to TPS 13 Division with the rank of Sergeant in 2010 and transferred to 22 Division 2 years later. There she worked in the Primary Response Unit and Detective Office before receiving a promotion to Staff Sergeant in 2016 and heading the Learning Development and Standards section at the Police College. At the time, she worked on the Police and Community Review PACER project, which explored how the TPS could bolster its image and raise the public trust and safety. In 2018, she reached the senior rank of inspector, a post she will now hold again for the next 2 years. I mean, listen, she better than me. I would be devastated, humiliated. I would be hiding up underneath the desk. But that's me, and I wouldn't have gave nobody no answers. But anywho, after that, it's not guaranteed she will assume her old position again, officials said, citing actions that brought unwanted publicity and caused irreparable damage to the Toronto police. Clark defense has previously argued that Clark should be demoted to the rank of inspector for a year to 18 months before being reinstated automatically, a desire that failed to come to fruition. She will have the option to appeal the decision in coming days, officials confirmed. Listen, she's a mess. It was messy. Let me just make sure. I think we got all the details there. It is what it is. Yeah, okay. I think we got it all. All right. Katrina, you're up.
That's just go to show you, Diva, you can't help everybody. The same people that you was helping is the one that pulled you down, probably for your job. And that's a sad situation. No, she shouldn't have been doing that. She shouldn't have gave them the answer, but obviously she thought she was helping them out. And for her to get caught up like that is, like you said, that's a whole lot of mess. That's a whole lot of mess. You gave away your career for people that don't give a D about yours, or you give a D about you, because you cared enough to help them, but they didn't care enough to help you. That's what I tell you all the time. These people have a lot of book sense, but they don't use their street sense or common sense. And that's what she got. She didn't use neither one of them, because if she did, she wouldn't be in the position that she's in now. You ain't lost everything. I mean, I ain't saying she lost everything, but you have lost your standards, your good name. I guess she had a good name if she made all that stuff went through. But now look where you at. And the same ones that you helped probably gonna be the ones that take your job. And that's a sad situation. I feel for it, but it's a sad situation. She caused it on herself. These people cause these things on themselves, so they can't be mad with nobody else, because it's stuff that they did, not us. And hopefully she will find some peace or whatsoever and find another job. And this time, just don't give up no answers. If they don't know the question, they don't know the answer to the questions, then let it be. Don't put yourself in that predicament anymore. Like I said, she was trying to help people, and they turned around and stabbed her in the back.
Stabbed in the back.
And it's sad. It's sad.
And
That's all
listen,
I got to do.
first of all, she as a whole detective, you was dumb for sending pictures and stuff on a cell phone. You big
That's what
dumb.
I'm saying. They don't use their street sense. Anybody in their right mind, if you doing something that you know you ain't supposed to be doing, you don't leave no paper trail. You don't leave nothing that somebody can come back and say, oh, she did this, she did that. Like, if I didn't have all that stuff on me, I would say, I don't know what the heck they talking about. But you left a paper trail. So it fell right back to you. You set your own self up when you thought you was helping somebody, but all the time they was thinking like, okay, I got to figure out a way to bring her down so I can get this job. And now look at her. It's sad, but that's what happened. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Let's hear her speak.
She, the deputy delivered her, just her decision. And so I'm just going to take some time with my family, and we'll just kind of go through what needs to be done and think about what the next steps are.
Do you plan to appeal the decision?
Decision will be made soon enough. Just going to take some time to go through what that means.
What's that initial emotion like, Superintendent? This is something you've worked for your whole career.
Just very disappointed and very sad about it. There's a lot of people who have shared these types of experiences. And so, but I'm looking forward to moving forward. There's a lot of work still to be done. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done. And I'm confident that we'll get it done.
What do you make of that decision specifically to have to reapply for?
Again, I have nothing more further to add. Just going to take some time to think about what's next. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, she ain't got nothing further to add. You demoted. Now you leaving your big office, your corner office with the window and the view, and you going back to sit where you came from. I cannot. Savannah, you're up.
And with some bad decisions, her whole resume means nothing. I was actually having conversations earlier this week about minority women in power and how they're looked at. There's and I'm trying to be very mindful of my words. There's people always waiting for you to fail, and there's so many more eyes on you. And when you do things like this, she basically gave a chosen group answers to the test and then left evidence that can be traced back to her. And so not only did you do a disservice to the badge that you wear, but the code of ethics that you swore to adhere by. So when she says she's disappointed, are you disappointed in yourself or the decision that had to be made? Because the people that are standing by waiting for women and especially women, minority women in positions of power to fail, it's so that they can go back and say, I told you so. And when people, when incidents like this happen, can't we can't justify it. We can't support you because what you did was wrong. And it is and your resume means nothing, your reputation means nothing. And it's unfortunate that she didn't think more of her position in the community, in the town. And I think she deserved what she got, honestly.
Yeah, well, there it is. Julius, your thoughts?
If you cheat and you stupid about it, and if you fluff around, you gonna find out. She fluffed around, now she finding out. That's it. That's all.
I appreciate you. Wayne, you're up.
Well, when you do things like that, I mean, you gave the test to those guys, so now you possibility you can be putting incompetent cops on the street. She did it for them. Can you imagine if a heart surgeon had to take a test and he couldn't pass it, and he goes to operate on somebody's heart, and that question he didn't know could have saved somebody's life. So I mean, I go that deep on it because obviously, if you're having to take these tests, it must be to maintain some qualifications or to become qualified in something. And if she did it for them, what about the next one she feel that she should do it for? I think she got off good. She got 2 years, and whether she can or not, but they said she has the opportunity she can apply back for it.
Right.
So I mean, she didn't lose her job totally. Where I mean, probably they could have done that. But yeah, you just can't go on and then just passing people through the system not qualified. That's it.
I appreciate you. Felicia, you're up.
Well, for me, this is an integrity issue and an economic one. So I did a little research. So as superintendent, she was earning $193,939 a year. So I'll say it again. She was earning $193,939 a year. Now with her demotion, she's at $97,128 a year.
Woo!
Repeat it. She's at $97,328 a year. Now you had a picture up there of her 6 mentees, those 6 losers. Okay. Were they really worth $100,000? She got 2 children. She got 2 children, and they're teenagers, and they're at that critical stage in life where they're going to need to have certain resources to begin to prepare them for what they're going to be doing as adults, whether they're going to be going to a trade school or to college or they want to travel. And you threw that away for those 6 mentees of yours because you wanted to make right what you believe is an unjust system. I'm not saying it wasn't, but you weren't thinking about your children, Mom. You completely forgot about the family that you were providing for. So this is a lose situation because I'm certain those 6 also had to take a hit for having, even if they didn't use her answers, they had to take a loss too. They may have been let go. We didn't hear what happened to them. But I think this is a good lesson for my sisters in that back row. because sometimes, you know, we want to be the compassionate one at work. We want to be that go-to person. We want to have empathy for others. And what does that look like sometimes? Girl, you know, I'm going to be late. Can you go over into my computer and log me in?
Ooh, oh my God. Come on, talk.
Oh, you know, shoot, this afternoon I got to be gone a little longer than usual. Can you sign me back in? Can you cover my work here? I didn't get this assignment out. So we do these things, and I'm not saying we don't do it with good intention, but the person asking you may not have good intention. And then the next thing you know, something happened, and it's well, Diva told me, or Diva did.
Come on now.
And we both out of work.
People.
Yeah, you know, we both out of work. I don't think she did any of this with malice. I really don't think she thought about her children and losing $100,000 because the system was, you know, it was unfair, unjust, but they promoted you. They gave you an opportunity. So get 6 qualified mentees. Like you said, no, go to prayer, go study harder. Go ask so-and-so. They took it 3 times and then they passed. Hang in there. But no, she made a really bad decision. And it's costing her in her pocket, and it's costing her children. And then she says, well, we still got work to do. I'm like, well, what work? Wait, now she's going to work for free? Now, think about it. Don't let anybody get into your pocket and have your children be denied opportunity. Say, you know, I really can't do that. I care for you. I'm sorry to hear that, but you're going to have to ask someone else. Mm-hmm. I'm done.
Go study. Listen.
So go study. That work. Go study.
Go study. So 200,000 because she can't reapply until 2 years, pretty much. But you already know when she reapply. I feel like I know the story because it's an integrity thing too. Mr. Hobson, you're up.
You are exactly right. And Felicia, you preached a sermon on that one. Like,
oh, come on now, amen.
Amen. Let the church say amen on that one, because I'm like, I'm just sorry. I worked my way up at my job to get where I'm at. God be the glory. And the key word was work, hard work. My thing is, I'm not going to fall on a sword like that for no one. Somebody said it just a minute ago. I think Felicia said it. How about do a good thing called, let me think, study, you know? And like you said, the paper trail, sweetheart, you just tricked yourself out of a big bag. A big bag. Like, I don't think she really she had the gravitas of the severity of what she did. And yeah, you could go ahead and reapply 2 years, girl. But at the end of the day, just my opinion, I think there's, like you said, Diva, it's an integrity issue now amongst other issues. And they're probably going to say, thank you for your services on that note. But they're probably going to keep you where you're at. I hope that does not happen for her, but she has to understand the grand scheme of what she did. And let's go back to the fact that you tricked yourself out of a very big bag to go from almost 200,000 to like 90 something. Like who does that? Like, sweetheart, like make it make sense, because it's not making sense at all. And yeah, Felicia, you preached that one. Like I said, I had to really think of some stuff. But yeah, that you were spot on.
You gotta bow down to that sermon, right? Listen, let me say something. The first check I would get after being cut down of half my $200,000 pay, I will fall out in the office. Okay.
Yup.
I would pass out.
Like, they're like, what's wrong with this man and this woman? Like,
I mean, that has got to be. Me and math don't get along sometimes, but I'm thinking after taxes, she probably was getting $15,000 every 2 weeks or something crazy like that. Damn. Yeah, she was getting paid. And now she gonna be back with the regular folk, and so she was home with them 2 kids, the 2 kids. They would call mommy, we out of them. Just order it online. Now, no, she gonna have to say, go cut the coupon, because I'm sure her house, her cars, and everything she was used to was with that $200,000 salary.
I got one even better, Diva. I would like to tell her, sweetheart, in case you did not know, EBT and Medicaid is real, sweetheart. It is very real. It's very real. So
It's real.
so
It's
she's gonna have
real.
to do a lot of financial restructuring. Oh, I can't wait, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, till you get to the story about Miss Super Mayor, because this story is kind of personal to me. So I can't wait till you transition
Oh,
to that.
well, we're about to transition to that. But but in the meantime, good luck to this superintendent. Keep your head up. I'm gonna tell you this too. I don't even know if I would have to, but I don't even know if I would be able to go sit back at that desk in my demoted job, because as a superintendent, she had the big office with the door. She can close it, listen to her music, do stuff on her computer, and nobody saw but her. She could shop online. Now she back outside with the regular folk, and she gonna have to come speak to the superintendent, the job she used to have. You was the first Black female superintendent, and see, they use that as ammunition too. They're going to say, see, we let the female in, and look what she did. She let her emotion run her job. She gave all of them guys, because she was feeling emotional, the answers to the test. Y'all going to let her back in? I don't think she getting back in. But you know what? I wish her well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share this screen with our last story, the man, Tiffany, because she's another one, a big dummy. But, Felicia, are you going to go through this story for me? But before you go through it, let me just go ahead and show this little video clip. So, Dolton dictator, Tiffany Henyard's former assistant town trustee betrays her over unethical predatory behavior and amid accusations of lavish spending. Okay, let's get into this story. 1 second. Hold on, y'all.
In Dolton, credit card transactions amounting to thousands of dollars without explanation and millions more owed to vendors.
A bombshell report highlights just how much financial trouble the village of Dolton is really in. Our Casey Cronus is live tonight with details. Casey.
Don and Scott, community members' jaws dropped during tonight's presentation. The report was put together by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was hired by village trustees in April as an independent investigator. They sought her out to get to the bottom of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's alleged misuse of village funds. Of the revelations made tonight, we are learning that as of May 31st of this year, the village's general fund, which is used to pay the majority of village expenses, is $3.65 million in deficit. Across the village's 6 credit cards that Lightfoot has been made aware of, receipts for purchases are, quote, rarely provided, unquote. In just one day, 3 transactions were made on Amazon, one for $33,000, another for $4,700, and a third for $5,600. Another significant purchase that stands out, nearly $7,700 spent at Wayfair. And that is only scratching the surface. Community members were shocked to learn that at least 589 checks amounting to over $6 million were approved and printed, but never sent to vendors. Henyard, a no-show for tonight's highly anticipated meeting, and attorneys for village trustees say she has changed the locks at Village Hall once again.
$40,000 at Amazon. What a slap in the face to everybody that reside in 60419 zip code.
I know how I felt when I started seeing these numbers. So I can imagine how all of you are feeling after all this time being in the dark. There are a number of other things we know, but we aren't ready yet. We got to verify in 20 ways from Sunday. Here is proof for everyone to see, and even the ones who doubt us. If you don't see through this, there's nothing I can say to you. February of 2025, clean house. Clean house.
Also of note, the police department's expenditures have increased $1.6 million since fiscal year 2022. Since that time, former Deputy Chief Louis Lacey has taken home roughly $215,000 in overtime when he wasn't eligible for it. 2 other officers, Lightfoot says, made more in overtime than their base salaries. The details of tonight's report leaving community members infuriated.
My reaction was, I am devastated. I am devastated that this woman came in to our town and spent all of our tax money. We have senior citizens that can't even afford basic necessities.
I suspected it all along. Tiffany needs to be locked up. She needs to be made an example out of, that she cannot go around using our money and spending it however she wants to spend it, like the job come with a cash register.
Not a cash register.
And we are told this is just the tip of the iceberg. More reports are expected to come as Lightfoot and her team continue to investigate and look into more alleged misuse of funds, including 2 separate trips to Las Vegas. Henyard did not return our request for comment tonight. Reporting live in Dolton, Casey Cronis, Fox 32.
Not a cashier or cash register. Okay. You ready, Felicia?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm reading the Post article, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Dolton dictator. Tiffany Henyard's former assistant, town trustee, betrays her over unethical, predatory behavior amid accusations of lavish spending. Embattled Dolton dictator Mayor Tiffany Henyard received a major blow Monday from a presumed ally in her ongoing fight against fraud accusations following reports of lavish spending while in office. Thornton Township Board trustee Carmen Carlisle accused the 41-year-old self-proclaimed super mayor of unethical and predatory behavior to increase her influence in the community. Quote, today I am breaking my silence and speaking out against Thornton Township Supervisor and Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who I believe has engaged in unethical and predatory behavior throughout her tenure, Carlisle wrote to WGAN. For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township, Carly said. This whistleblowing trustee said she remained quiet about the lavish trips and other outlandish spending at recent board meetings because she, quote, trusted the administration, close quote. The Board of Trustees has since voted to add restrictions on spending for special events and access to credit cards. Quote, I am standing up, not just for myself, but for others who have been affected by what I see as Henyard's abusive leadership, Carly's statement said. I believe there are more victims who have been retaliated against, fired, or lied to by Henyard, but have yet to speak out, close quote. Henyard didn't remain quiet against the once loyal trustee, coining a new nickname while blaming everyone for the charade. Quote, I think I'm going to get you a new nickname, Lion Carlisle, Henyard said in front of a packed audience at a special meeting called by Carlisle and another trustee on August 15th. Quote, I'm tired of everyone in here. There always has to be a show, close quote. Carlisle, a former assistant to Henyard before being appointed a trustee to fill a vacancy in May 2023, explained she never questioned the spending until she stopped trusting Henyard's administration. Quote, at the end of the day, Henyard said, according to the Lansing Journal, quote, you was on this board. We never talked about this, right? So you should have been putting this same energy in play when you weren't saying a thing, a word, a year ago, some months ago, close quote. The reason I didn't ask questions was because I trusted the administration. I trusted the process. The moment I didn't trust the process, I started asking questions, Carlisle shot back. Carlisle and trustee Chris Gonzalez called a special meeting after this continuous request to add items to regular meeting agendas were ignored. Carlise and Gonzalez have been requesting financial documentation since the beginning of Henyard's appointment. Quote, I worked as your assistant. I saw a lot. I heard a lot. The first time I ever really questioned supporting you is when you went on this national platform and you said you didn't know anything about a foundation, but you forget that I was in certain rooms when certain things happened. Henyard has denied that the Tiffany A. Henyard Cares Foundation is hers. The foundation, which purports to support cancer patients, was given a $10,000 donation from the town board in September of 2022, the same day it was chartered with the state, according to documents reviewed by Illinois' Answers Project and Fox 32. A month later, Henyard organized a 10-day walk and bike across the state to Springfield in the name of her foundation, but charged most of the trip to the Dolton credit card, totaling $11,000 in hotels, restaurants, photographers, DJs, and supplies. Earlier this month, the Dolton Deputy Police Chief, Louis Lacey, a close ally of Henyard, was charged with a 9-count indictment for bankruptcy fraud and other charges. Lacey was accused of scheming to hide assets and income to trick creditors and avoid paying a settlement tied to a past lawsuit.
Ciao, Savannah, your thoughts. Thank you, Felicia.
Mm-hmm. It's been my show for like since February, March. Mayor Tiffany, I always didn't understand why you didn't cover this story because it is juicy and it gets more and more entangled as the months go on. But from her lavish trips to her security detail, this mayor has been off the chain, and those township meetings have been very close to dragging and wig pulling and just going. It is absolutely something else. But I did see reports of where the FBI is now looking at not only the town's records, but her personal records as well, from taxes, personal expenses, all the way down to how much she spends on hair, nails. I mean, the whole nine, because she was buying designer bags, clothes. She thought she was Beyonce. Her car had to be the best. There was police officers that were getting over $100,000 in overtime a year. Just from being on her security detail. Plus, she has a charity that she was funneling some of the township money through this charity. So Mayor Tiffany has been off the chain. This is something I have been following because it just gets juicier and juicier. She belongs in. She reminded me of that bishop in New York that faked the robbery. So they just seem like they could be partners. But I do believe that she is looking at some federal indictments and some federal charges because FBI is talking to local businesses and even local residents who have been cheated. But this town is absolutely bankrupt from having an $8 million surplus to being almost $4 million in debt, and all within the span of less than 2 years. And she has very little receipts or very little explanation to cover this. So it's interesting, a great story to watch.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Savannah. Felicia, your thoughts, and thank you for reading.
Oh, you're welcome. There is so much going on here. I'm a little thrown by them bringing in Lori Lightfoot. I thought she left as mayor of Chicago with some very disappointed folks out there about her tenure, that she wasn't effective, she wasn't a good leader, she wasn't this and she wasn't that. And now they found a way to bring her in. So we have a dynamic here of female and female and female. And let me be clear, if that were my executive assistant, I would have fell out on the floor. I mean, you don't expect your executive assistant talking about I was quiet, but you forgot I was in certain rooms when certain things got said. Well, that's way too vague for me. I don't know what you're talking about. You got to come a little clearer than that, sis. So you have these 3 women who are in position of authority and power, and they're going to wrestle it out. Meanwhile, we're hearing all the men were making the money. What's going on here? The police officers were making more money than their base pay in overtime. So it doesn't seem to me like the women were making the money. They were taking the money. The sister was illegally using funds. I mean, Wayfair and Amazon, I guess she was buying office furniture. I don't know. But I will be following this story. And as often as said up here, good luck, because they're going to need it.
Mr. Hobson, you're up.
Oh, Lord. First and foremost, let's pray for the citizens of Dolton because they're in some serious trouble. When I said earlier that this was like looking into a mirror and it's kind of personal to me, I want to kind of take everyone, if they're not familiar, on a little trip back in the past to about 2004, 2006. I'm from the city of Detroit. Oh. Our mayor at the time was Kwame Kilpatrick. He was charged with a RICO. He was sentenced to 28 years.
Whoa.
Public corruption and a RICO. Kwame recently got out in 2019 because he got a presidential pardon from Donald Trump. I say that to say this. This mirrors a lot of what myself and the city of Detroit went through. I know a lot of people are familiar with the trickle-down effect and the domino effect. This set the tone for Detroit because of his public corruption, misappropriation of funds, abuse of the office of the mayor. It trickled down to the effect of it caused Detroit to be in the biggest bankruptcy in U.S. history.
Woo!
In about 2010. So a lot of things happened stemming from his corruption. I did a video on this a few months ago on my channel about Miss Tiffany Henyard, and in that video I said, quote, that she was looking very, very Kwame Kilpatrick-ish. But based on all the things like Savannah has said, this has been viral for months. She has taken it up a notch.
Oh my God.
And what's going to happen is, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to jail.
Oh.
She's going to jail. There's no way out of this for her. Let me be very clear. She's going to jail. And how they made an example out of Kwame Kilpatrick, and what's so ironic about the situation is their situations mirror each other, if that makes sense. Follow me. She was the youngest mayor. Thank you, Savannah. She's going to federal prison like Kwame did. And like I said, God was looking out for that man because who would have thought that A, he would have got a pardon, B, Donald Trump would have given him a pardon. But anyway, they mirror a lot because like Kwame, Tiffany Aisha Henyard was the youngest and first Black female mayor elected to Dolton. Kwame Kilpatrick was the first and at the time the youngest mayor in United States history to be elected a U.S. mayor. Kwame Kilpatrick was 32. Great career. He was in the U.S. He was in the state Lansing Senate. House of Representatives before he ran for mayor. He was also an attorney. So it's like she was a Dolton trustee for 6 years. So the defense that she's going to try to play to use, I didn't know, because there's another key player. They talked about Chief Police Lacey. There's another key player named Keith Freeman in this situation. He was the village of Thornton Township administrator, and he was Dolton's administrator, her right-hand man. He also was just indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges, along with the chief of police. So I just did a video before I came onto your live, thanking you again. I'm actually editing and talking to you at the same time, where I said directly to my viewers that the thing about her situation with Keith Freeman and Mr. Lacey is it's all about first contact. Follow me, everybody. not only does Mr. Keith Freeman have the federal bankruptcy fraud charges, but he has other charges pending on things that he has done with her that the feds are looking into. So when I say first contact, they got Mr. Freeman by the noose right now. Like they're leaning on him so hard. So what's probably going to happen is he's probably going to cooperate. Because think about it. What does he have to lose? He's looking at major federal prison time. And if I have an opportunity, if this just makes sense to me, to try to get the lightest sentence possible, I'm going to cooperate. This is a huge disservice to the residents of Dolton. And my fear is because of a $3.65 million deficit, when they started, like Savannah said, with a almost $7 million surplus when she took office, I'm afraid that the only solvency resolution for Dolton would be the fate that Detroit went through, and that's bankruptcy. Let me tell y'all, let's be clear. Bankruptcy here was devastating in Detroit. I'm going to do another video in the next couple of days and break down our bankruptcy, but it was a lot of dirty dealings going on in terms of balancing the books. And all I'm going to say is, before I do that video, a lot of the books were balanced off the people. So that's why I said in the beginning of my comment, pray for Dolton. Please, everybody that's on this panel, everybody that's viewing this live, pray for the citizens of Dolton, because this is a beyond major disservice to the citizens, the taxpayer citizens, that you got this ratchet. To me, when I see her, it's like she's auditioning to be on a reality show. It's like, you're not a mayor. I don't see leadership. Like, you don't exude anything but being ratchet. It's pray for Dolton, y'all. Pray for Dolton. I'm sorry if I was so fired up, y'all. But
no, you're
really,
fine.
This really mirrors my city. And it's like, every day I see something different, a different video, a different clip, a different soundbite about her. You got what you wanted, sweetheart. You're viral. But guess what, baby girl? You're viral in all the wrong ways. And you're going to learn. She's going to learn. Let's be clear. She going to learn. If you're not humble now, ma'am, the feds are going to humble you.
Oh,
they're going to make you an example, sweetheart. Oh, and by the way, it was just reported, I do believe, yesterday through WGN, that the mayor allegedly is missing in action. She ain't been at the office since the feds are in town. The feds been in town for a few months in Dolton. Mind you, this is a city, ladies and gentlemen, of 20 to 22,000 people. Total disservice.
She missing in action.
That's what they've been saying at WGN. Like, where's the mayor? Like, I'm afraid that she done fled, in my opinion. Because my thing is, you're the mayor. No matter how big your municipality is, sweetheart, 22,000 versus 300-something thousand in Detroit, where I'm from. You're still the leader, unfortunately, of the people. And like I said, shout out to Trustee Jason House. Shout out to Trustee Tammy Brown, who we saw in the video. Shout out to Trustee Kiana Belcher. And shout out to Trustee Brittany Norwood. Like, they've been on the forefront. To see those women at one point say to the media, we feel like, this is like 2 months ago, we feel like everyone is covering this and talking about it, but we feel like no one's going to save us. And like I said, shout out to Lori Lightfoot. Despite her record as mayor, good or bad, in Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot's history is she's a former prosecutor. That's why they brought her in, to do the digging into the receipts. It's standard practice in pretty much most municipalities across the United States when it comes to the checks and balances of how the bills get paid. And the fact that she was a trustee for 6 years prior to 3 of the names that I just mentioned endorsing you, sweetheart, Jason House, Kiana Belcher, and Brittany Norwood endorsed your goofy ass, excuse my language, to become mayor. What a slap in the face. Let me tell you what happened. I don't blame the constituents or the citizens of Dolton at all. Let me tell y'all what happened to y'all, Dolton. Y'all got finessed. Tiffany Aisha Henyard is a finesser. She finessed y'all. She knows how to talk the talk. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing you guys did because y'all believed her. That's the disheartening part. But like I said, Detroit, today I can say we are in the green. Like, it was a lot of us digging our way out of the situation, but we are in the green and we're moving forward. So I firmly believe with God's grace that they're going to weather this storm and move forward. But they already know, like, oh, girl, Tammy Brown, shout out to her at the table. We got a clean house. They know they got a clean house. Thank you, Diva.
Thank you. Ooh. A lot of information. I appreciate you. Julius, your thoughts?
This lady messy.
Yes.
She messy. Too much for my little gossip behind to keep up with. She's so messy. She need to be bent over her mama's knee and be given a whooping. She's so unprofessional. All that money for the Amazon, that could have been transferred back into your community. You could have started mentor programs for the youth. Could have started financial literacy training, something. But you want it to be messy and tacky. Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
Thank you. Katrina, did I come to you? My screen shifted.
No, it's Wayne's turn. I go after Wayne.
You can go now. I'm gonna get to Wayne. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yes. This woman is there you go. That's what this whole the last two stories they using they book sense but not their common sense. Girl, did you honestly think that these folks wasn't gonna figure out that you was taking all this money? I mean, be for real. The people were seeing what you're driving. They seeing how you spending lavish money at Amazon. What you ordering, a car? I mean, come on. What are you getting from Amazon for $33,000? And then you walking around. I'm quite sure her glam team probably cost like $15,000. She probably bought some more wigs from Amazon. But the thing of it is, girl, you're stupid. How stupid could you be? And if she did have any street sense, she would have fled the country because they coming for you, and you gonna do Fed time. And Fed times you do day by day. They don't give you no cuts. You're gonna do day by day. And if she have fled the country or fled wherever she at, I hope they find her because that little city do not need to suffer off of somebody for being selfish. Then you got a police officer who's signing his own overtime slips. Why you do that at? That's what a supervisor's supposed to do. They're supposed to sign your overtime slips, not you. This is so crazy. And they honestly thought they were finna get away with this. My dear God. I mean, these people are just ridiculous. It's greed. And like Wayne would tell you, greed would get you every time. You don't know when to get something and stop. Okay, I got it and I stop. Let me not do this again if you was in a hardship way or whatsoever. But no, you kept going, you kept going, you kept going. You didn't care about the people of that city. You only cared about yourself or whoever you supporting or whatever because you didn't care about the city. Basically, you really even don't even care about yourself because anybody in their right mind wouldn't have did this. So something is not clicking in her top floor in her head because something is not clicking. Why in the world, girl, that you think that you was going to get away with all this in a little small town like that? You honestly thought that, I guess you thought those people in that town was totally stupid, but they showed her. So if she do got any kind of sense, she should have been fled because, babe, you finna do some time. You honestly finna do some time. And that's a sad situation when we get in those positions. We get in and we mess up. Get in, we don't do what we supposed to do, but then you want to turn around and look at the white person. No. You didn't do what you supposed to do. When people give you a chance and you blew it. You totally blew it. You had your chance and you just threw it away. For what? Materialistic things? Trust and believe, when you're in that cot, you ain't finna get no Louis Vuitton sheets or no Chanel cover a bedspread. You getting that little gray cover and them little orange shoes and a little orange jumpsuit. So I hope you get a wig that can match your outfit. That's all I got, Diva.
Not a wig that can match your outfit. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the highest form of American greed you can get. I mean, I don't think she really came from too much. I mean, who got access to all that money and shop at Wayfair? I can see possibly Amazon, but at Wayfair. No regards to the people in town. I mean, and I would imagine since this is a small town, they were probably lighthearted about the books and things and, not have all the securities or things in place, but in a little small town, you would think who would come in or who could possibly come in and clean them out, a whole town. And it sounds like she was probably living better than the richest person in the town. It's just total greed. I don't think she's sick or nothing. I think it's total greed.
Savannah said better than the governor. I mean, what always baffles me in these stories is the people really in their mind think they're just never going to get caught. I don't want to do federal prison, jail, nobody's prison, nobody's jumpsuit. You telling me when to get up, when to sleep, where to wake. I got a roommate as an adult. I'm not doing all that.
There's so many layers to this. Like currently, also there is a current lawsuit. She has several lawsuits, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But there's a current lawsuit with a former employee. Okay, there's a lot of situation going on about this trip that was taken. That was supposed to be a some type of trip where they were trying to bring business to Dolton that occurred last summer in Las Vegas, where her aide alleges in the lawsuit that she was sexually assaulted by a current Dolton trustee named Andrew Holmes. And Andrew Holmes is still currently rolling around with Tiffany. Yes. And in result of her revealing this to the mayor, she was put on administrative leave, which in turn resulted to her getting terminated. It's a lot.
No way.
Yes, that's a true story.
So also,
I
don't understand. Yep. I'm sorry. Like Wayne was saying, greed. Like, how's enough is never enough. Like, apparently she makes $45,000 as the mayor of Dolton, and she also holds another position as the Thornton Township trustee, where she makes $225,000. So you add them up, you're almost at, I like to round numbers off, you're almost at $300,000, sweetheart. So it's not making any sense. Like Wayne said, you're just greedy and selfish. I don't understand it. You're the mayor of a city. Usually most mayors, I know in my city, there's a mayor's mansion in an affluent area in Detroit. There's usually a mayor's house. Like, your rent is free. So it's like, make it make sense. Like someone mentioned earlier, like all the stuff that Lori Lightfoot found out in the receipts that she could retrieve, Amazon, Wayfair. Like, to me, like I said, sweetheart, when the hammer comes down, it's going to come down hard. And if, like you said, Diva, for you not to believe that you were never going to get caught, you're not only in the public eye, you're a public official. So guess what, sweetheart? More eyes are always going to be on you because you're supposed to be a public servant. Like, the key hint word of public servant is you're supposed to serve the public. Like, you work for the public. They don't work for you. And like somebody just said, I agree. You probably are walking around little old Dolton like the best, like the biggest celebrity. I got the best cars. There's another situation about they're getting police cars repossessed because she had cars financed at the biggest interest rate ever. But I'm gonna tell you all this, and then I'm gonna go and finish editing my video. When she showed up at a Dolton meeting, y'all can all Google this at your own leisure. I'm not making any of this up. She showed up, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, at a Dolton meeting dressed up as Nino Brown. I'm not making this up, ladies and gentlemen. She had a little fake dog in her hand and everything. She had a little fake dog in her hand and everything, talking to the people of Dolton like, so y'all not going to say nothing? Y'all not going to say nothing? Yeah, I'm sorry, Dolton. Y'all elected a hood rat. I had to say it. I was trying to hold it in and be nice. But Dolton, it's okay. Like I said in the beginning, Dolton, y'all didn't know. Like I said, she's a finesser. So that's the takeaway word. That's the buzzword of the day. Finesser. Y'all got a little finesse. And I'm gonna be honest too. She did one sit down interview about 2 months ago on Roland Martin's channel on the Black Star Network called Roland Martin Unfiltered. And I'm gonna be honest, and y'all can go check the comments on that. She finessed Roland too, to the point where he had to go do another interview like a day later and explain the interview that they did. Like, she finessed him a little bit. She did. Like, she came on there in all angelic white, like trying to play like the good. Yeah, go check that out too. I encourage y'all to check that out as well. It's a lot. It's like, it's layers. So many layers. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people are waiting on her first sit down interview. And I also want to give a shout out to another content creator, Hungry by Hannibal, or Hannibal the Hungry. He's been covering this like from Hannibal is Hungry. I'm sorry. He's been covering this like since the beginning. And I remember when he live streamed her interview with Roland Martin on Roland Martin Unfiltered on his channel. And yeah, like, just check it out, y'all, because y'all know how Roland Martin get down with his journalism. And it's like, in my opinion, he went a little lightweight on her, where it gave her, in my opinion, the opportunity. Thank y'all for saying y'all saw it. It gave her the opportunity to run the finesse. And she finessed. And I'm like, okay, it fell flat after a few days because people started reaching out to him like, hey, look at these news clips. Like, people in Chicago, like at WGN, and other content creators that's really doing research on this chick. Like, she finessed you, bro. But it's okay.
Right. It happens. It happens. Ooh, child. Well, listen. Well, I'm gonna stay connected to it now that I know this much. Yeah. Thank you for all of your input on it. I will go check out those interviews or whatever. Raheem said, let me see what Raheem said. Oh, wait, let me see this. What kills me too is they show up after being found out, drip down in Gucci as if we ain't paid for it. Listen, I mean, that's bold.
Yeah.
That's just bold. It's just insanity to me. They see her. Well, listen. Well, now she's missing though. Y'all said she's been missing.
Yeah, that they've been reporting that she's missing, and it's like you said. Just imagine you seeing somebody riding around, wearing, eating your tax money. That's crazy. Like, they have a police department of 45 police officers. This came out of her mouth in the Roland Martin interview. Half of that rolls with her day to day. From the time she wake up and get out her bed and open her door to walk out the door, car service is there, they're with her. When she travels, they're with her. That's taking resources. Yes, y'all a small city, but like we all know here, ladies and gentlemen, there's crime in every city. Hello? And my thing is, you would think when the police department is saying, hey, we need some people, why they rolling around with you to run errands and do, oh, baby.
Not run errands. Oh my God. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all. There will be no feel-good story tonight because I got to figure it out. They ding me. So I got to figure out how and what feel-good stories I can show. But I appreciate y'all. Listen, do the right thing on your job. I think this is the moral of the story. You see Shaq retired and he doing the right thing. He went and got himself a DJ job. He's not trying to scam people, sell people credit cards, tell people to join this scheme, that scheme, or whatever. He's doing the right thing. You got the superintendent lost $100,000 off her salary. Off her salary because she wanted to help 5 men, 6 men, or whoever, 6 mentees. Will each 6 mentees give her $20K per year to make up for the $100,000 she lost? There ain't no way in heck. And I'm also taking it like she's a single mother. There ain't no way in heck as a single mother or even as a married mother that I would have went down that road. No, I wouldn't have. That's not a sword I would have died on. And this man, she a piece of work. And that's an understatement. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in the building, hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.